Highly indebted consumers opt for debt review in a bid to manage their debt levels and pay off their creditors, but not everyone qualifies to participate in this process. If your debt is beyond your capacity to pay, then you might have no option but to declare bankruptcy and be sequestrated. If you receive notification that legal action is going to be taken against you, you have 10 days to approach a debt counsellor to avoid this happening. But you need to know your rights and obligations before taking part in the debt review process.
A lot of people are embarrassed about their financial situation and wouldn't discuss it with anyone for fear of being ridiculed. But what most people don't know is there is a debt review process in terms of the National Credit Act, where you can apply for debt counseling and have your debt restructured when you are in a situation where you see that you are so over indebted to the extent that you are unable to service all your financial obligations in terms of the credit agreements that you've entered into.
Most clients goes under debt review still understanding that they are going for a consolidation loan. It's not a consolidation loan and it's not a loan at all. So no money gets back given to you. Your accounts do still get to be paid in a form of a one installment at the end of the month. But nothing gets given back to you because those repayments are made up of your own affordability, now new affordability to repay toward all your debts.
If you are under debt review, you are not allowed to take on more credit. And the time spent on debt review depends on how much money you owe and how long it will take to pay. Debt counsellors can negotiate a favorable interest rate on your behalf.
You cannot acquire further debt while in debt review. As a matter of fact, once you have applied for debt review, all the credit bureaus will be notified that you are under debt counseling or you have applied for debt review. And as a result, there is no credit provider that would be in a position to offer you any credit, because if they do so, they may be found guilty of reckless lending.
If judgment for payment has already been issued against you, it cannot be included under the debt review process. And if you are married in community of property, you cannot go under debt review without your spouse's financial situation being assessed.
If you are married, you cannot even go to under debt review without your partner getting involved to ensure that you are just over indebted, but maybe it's not the whole household that is over indebted. Then we get you back on track. You can go back, fix your challenges.
The debt review process can protect you against creditors, but if you fail to meet your financial obligations while under debt review, you may lose the protection of the National Credit Act. And if you decide to exit the debt review process, creditors can take action against you if you fail to pay them. Naledi Matlapeng, SABC News, Johannesburg.
All right, let's take this matter further with Timmy van der Griep. He is the legal advisor at the National Credit Regulator. Timmy, thank you so much for joining us on Your Money on Market Sense. Just checking if we have him on the line yet. Yes, we do.
Yes,
How are you doing?
It's nice to be with you.
It's great to have you over. It's really great to have you over. Timmy, tell me, have you been seeing a lot of complaints from consumers who have been put under debt review without their knowledge? And if so, how can we as consumers protect ourselves against this?
Yes, there has been a scourge in recent times of consumers that are complaining that they are being placed under debt review without their knowledge. And I think a big problem here is that the consumers originally, when they are contacted, do not speak to a registered debt counsellor. These are call centre agents that are phoning consumers. They are not debt counsellors and they are not entitled to speak to consumers or counsel consumers. So I think it's very important, especially when they receive a call from a call centre, that they immediately ask the person, are you a debt counsellor? What is your debt counselling registration number? Because remember, each of them needs to go through a course and is vetted. There's police clearance and so on that has been done. And then only then are they allowed to practice as a debt counsellor.
Yeah.
So make sure that you get the debt counselling number and go on our website and go and check if they registered with us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, do not deal with it.
Right. Let's talk about the signs to take care of once you're seeing that, you know what, my financial situation is not really going great. What is the point where you say, now I should look for a debt counsellor who should help me? At what point is it the tipping point for consumers?
I think that the big tipping point is when you take debt or you make debt to pay back debt. I think if you at that point, it is really time that you go and take your financial position seriously, that you seek help from a professional and see that professional is registered. And also you go on Hello Peter and ask around a bit to see if this person has been around and if this person knows what he's doing. But yeah, that is the tipping point, I think.
So you take care of or you monitor debt counsellors. Have you seen those counsellors who do not abide by the rules? Those that, are trying to do little deals on the side?
Yes, indeed. And we've got a process where we investigate the ones that are under suspicion. And we, in recent times, made several referrals to the National Consumer Tribunal for their deregistration. Which was successful in two big instances last year, where the tribunal found that they were in contravention of the Act, in repeated contravention of the Act. And they were deregistered and fines were dished out. In one of the instances, the tribunal ordered this debt counsellor to refund consumers certain funds because overcharged.
Yeah. 2 questions in 2 minutes. Timmy, what happens now if I am Diabo and I was under debt review and I want to leave it? I feel that I want to leave it, but the process is not concluded. And for someone that is a Togo somewhere, that wants to start this debt counselling process, what's the fee structure looking like? What are reasonable fees?
The fees are regulated. We've issued guidelines on the fees itself. Throughout every aspect of the debt review process. So just go on our website under circulars and guidelines, and you will find the fee structure. There is a maximum amount that can be charged for consumers for restructuring fees. There are maximum amounts that can be charged for legal fees, and there's maximum amounts that can be charged for aftercare fees.
Right. And if I want to leave before the process is concluded?
There is withdrawal guidelines that we issued in 2019 that we based on recent case law of the High Courts. It's quite a long document and it sets out scenarios. So consumers can go and get that withdrawal guidelines, go and look at the scenario, see where they fit in, and that guidelines will tell you exactly how to go out of debt review. If you are in that position.
Right. Timmy van der Griep is the legal advisor at the National Credit Regulator, giving us guidelines on what you should look out for if you are under debt review and you want to get out. If you want to start debt review, what is the acceptable fees? Go to their website and you should be able to get all the information that you need. SME On Point is coming up next after the break, but please do stay with us.